Hi, hello students. Welcome to Indian Tech Guru for you. So let us move on to the next topic. The next topic is processor registers. Processor registers. So what is the fastest memory in computer system? The register memory is the fastest memory in computer system. So why it is fastest? The register memory is very nearer to the processor. Rather, it will be inside of the processor. So that is why it is the fastest memory available in computer system. So coming to the different types of registers, different types of registers that are available inside of the computer system. So the most prominent register we should know is the accumulator register. Accumulator register. It is represented as AC. AC. AC means accumulator register. So this accumulator register is a general purpose register, so which is used to store the operand values. Okay. So operands means the data that is stored in the main memory. So that will be brought to the accumulator register whenever needed. Similarly, there is one more register known as the temporary register. Temporary register TR. So this temporary register is used to store the intermediate results or other temporary data. And in addition to that, there will be two registers for performing the input as well as the output operations. So input reading. So generally input is read from two different ways. Either you can read the data from the keyboard, or you can read the data from a file, data file. Similarly, the output is sent to any one of the two things. One is either we can send the output to a monitor, or we can send the output to a file also. Okay. So for reading the data from the keyboard, whenever we press a key, that is either alphabet or special character, so that keyboard key must be stored temporarily in a register. So that register is nothing but the input register INPR. Similarly, so whenever some output is generated and that output must be displayed on the monitor, so then you need to temporarily store the output in character format. So in a register known as output register, known as out R. So these are the some of the important registers we come across. So in addition to these registers, there are so many registers available. So here is the basic register structure. In addition to all these registers, we will have n general purpose registers. N general purpose registers from R0 to Rn-1. Okay. So we have n general purpose registers from R0 to Rn-1. R0, R1 and so on up to Rn-1. So these n general purpose registers are used to store several things, several data from the main memory to the processor. So however, we have some special registers. So already we discussed about this INPR and OutR. INPR is input register, which is going to hold the input character. Input character is generally sent from the keyboard. Whenever we press a key on the keyboard, so that the content will be moved to the input register. Similarly, so the output register OutR will hold the output character. Okay. And we discussed about the temporary register, which is going to hold the temporary data. And we have discussed about the accumulator register, so which is going to store a processor register content. Okay, so it is also used to store the data which is used for performing either arithmetic operation or logical operation. Okay, so here if you observe the number of bits needed. So accumulator register needs 16 bits, and input register, temporary register needs 16 bits. So these two are generally used to store the data. Okay, so as we have already seen in the previous class that the instruction format we have seen, and an instruction will occupy generally 16 bits, among which from 0 to 11 bits we are going to store the address. From 12 to 15, 12 to 14, 3 bits we are going to use for operational code, and bit number 15 we are going to use for indirect mode address. So this we have already seen. So the instruction actually contains 16 bits. So and the main memory so contains if this is the main memory. So the main memory contains both the instructions. It contains both the instructions as well as it contains data also. So to store this data in processor registers, so what is the size of the data or instruction? 16 bits. 16 bits. So in the memory, how many total 16-bit words are there? In this particular memory, 4096 16 bits words of memory is there. Okay. So among these registers, we discussed about the TR. TR represents the temporal register. We discussed about the AC. We discussed about outer INPR. So what about the remaining registers? Let us discuss. So the one more register is a very important register known as the PC. PC means program counter. PC means program counter. So this program counter actually is used to store the address of the next instruction. Okay, it holds the address of the next instruction. So why it is going to hold the address of the next instruction means whenever we are going to execute a particular program, the program contains a set of instructions. Okay, so line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the execution will be carried out in the same sequence. We are going to execute initially the first statement, and then second statement, and then third statement, and then fourth statement, and then fifth statement. We are not going to execute so the sequence as 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, something like that. So it is not going to happen. So we will be always executing in the same order, in the sequential fashion. So that is why we are going to store the address of the next instruction in PC to fetch the next instruction from main memory, from main memory to the processor register, For that purpose, what we need the address of the next instruction. Initially, the address of the next instruction will be the address of the next instruction will be the address of the first instruction. Okay, the address of the first instruction. So however, from second instruction onwards, so it is going to update. Okay, it is going to update. For example, if 5 instructions are there in a program, then PC initially contains the address 1, whereas next time PC will be updated to address 2. So like this, we are going to implement the program counter. Program counter is very important register which contains the address of the next instruction. So sometimes this particular order may be altered. So when the particular order may be altered, whenever we are going to encounter a branching statement. For example, I'm going to write a program for performing the factorial, to find out the factorial of a number, and I have written the fact function. Okay, so I'm going to call n is equal to fact of m, n is equal to fact of m, a function. Okay, so and I have written this function somewhere else, somewhere here. So now the address of the next instruction will be the first instruction inside of the fact function, isn't it? So and after the last instruction, then it is going to return to the next instruction in the main program. So this is the main program. This is a fact function. Okay, this is a fact function. So like this, now the sequence has been changed. So even though the sequence has been changed, so now the address of the next instruction will be represented by the PC, program counter. After n is equal to fact of m, the program counter is updated with the next instruction address with the first instruction of fact. Similarly, after the last statement in fact, the PC will be updated with the next instruction of n is equal to fact of m. So like this it is going to happen. So that is why PC is very important register. So after PC, another important register is AR. Sometimes we call it as MAR. MAR. So this MAR is very important. So because it contains, it is called as memory address register. It holds the address for the memory. So what is the purpose of this MAR? So we require data to perform either arithmetic operations or logical operations. Yes or no? So to perform arithmetic operations or logical operations, what we need? We require data. So to fetch the data, the data will be in main memory. Assume these are the data blocks in main memory. So however, to fetch the data from the main memory, we need to get the memory based on the address location. So we are going to get the memory based on the address location. So using what? Based on the address location, using memory address register. So for example, a particular value 555 is located in address location 0xFA2. Then the MAR will be moved with 0xFA2. So that is why, how many hexadecimals are there here? 0x represents hexadecimal value, F 1 hexadecimal, A 1, 2, 1. So how many bits are needed? 4 plus 4 plus 4. 4 into 3, 12 bits are needed. So that is why you can observe that the address register will have 12 bits of storage. Okay. So like this, we are going to implement the MAR, memory address register. So another important register is DR or MDR. So whatever the data that is actually fetched using the address location MAR. So that is stored in generally stored in MDR. That is generally stored in MDR. So MDR means memory data register. Memory data register. So whatever the value will be stored in MDR. Here what is the value? For example, in 0xFA2, what is the value? 555. So this 555 will be stored in MDR. So that is why if you observe the DR or MDR, the DR or MDR contains how many bits? It contains how many bits? It contains the 16 bits. It contains the 16 bits. So why it contains the 16 bits? So it contains the 16 bits because it contains the 16 bits because it is going to hold the data rather than the address. So that is why it contains the it is going to contain the 16 bits instead of 12 bits. It is going to contain 16 bits instead of 12 bits. Okay. So that is about the MDR. Finally, so one more very important register is IR. IR represents the instruction register. In the previous class, we discussed elaborately about the instruction format. So the instruction format generally will contain 16 bits, among which 12 bits will represent the address. 12 bits are going to represent the address, and 3 bits is going to represent the operation code, and 1 bit is going to represent the indirect address mode. Okay. So like that we are going to implement the IR. IR is very, very important. IR is instruction register. However, where this instruction is stored, this instruction will also be stored in main memory itself. So we need to fetch the instruction from the main memory itself. So however, to fetch the instruction from the main memory, we need that particular instruction's address. So where this particular address will be stored? Again in MAR itself. So MAR is the memory address register, which is used for both the data as well as the instruction. So either it is going to fetch the data or it is going to fetch the instruction. Okay. So that is very, very important. So don't think that always MAR is used to fetch the data. It is used to fetch sometimes it is used to fetch the instruction also. So after fetching the data or instruction, if the fetched information is instruction, so then it will be moved to IR. If the fetched instruction is data, then it will be moved to MDR. Okay, like that we are going to manage. So these registers are very, very important to perform the operations on a computer system. So to actually have data transfers between these registers as well as the data transfers between the main memory and the registers, definitely we need to have a bus structure. Already we discussed in the previous classes how to construct a common bus. So using the multiplexers, or using the 3-state buffers. We have already seen how to construct a common bus. Okay. Now let us see how these registers will be operated using the common bus structure. So in this diagram, we are going to elaborately see how the operations are carried out using these registers. Okay. So here you may see a 16-bit common bus. So this one is the 16-bit. This one is the 16-bit common bus. Okay. What does it mean? At a time, 16 bits will be transmitted. 16 bits will be transmitted. Okay. So from where to where these 16 bits will be transmitted is very, very important. Okay. So here you can see there are 3 selection inputs, S2, S1, S0. So what are the values we can give for these 3 selection inputs? What values we could give for these selection inputs? We could give either 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So 8 different values we can give. 8 different values we can give to this 3 selection inputs. To these 3 selection inputs we can give 8 different values. Okay, 8 different values. So then what are the decimal equivalents of these values? The decimal equivalents of these values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So now in the diagram you can observe that there are actually 7 different operations available. 7 different operations available. What are the 7 different operations? So this is first operation, second operation, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, and seventh one. 7 different operations are performed. So based on the selection inputs, we can have 7 different operations to be performed. 7 different operations to be performed. Okay. So among these 7 different operations, so the most important operation is so number 7. Number 7 is the most important operation. So what is number 7? What is number 7? The number 7 is fetching the data from the main memory. So this is the memory unit. This is the memory unit. Memory unit means it is main memory. Okay. So we are going to fetch the data from the main memory. We are going to fetch the data from the main memory. Okay. So here you can see we are going to fetch the data from the main memory and place in common bus. So after fetching the data, so from the common bus, so it is going to pass through this path, and can be stored either in DR. If it is data, then it may store in DR. Okay, or if it is instruction, then it may store in instruction register. Okay, instruction register. So however, to fetch the data, what we need to fetch the data, we need the address. Where that address will be stored. So that particular address will be stored in AR, address register. So now you can see the connection. So the address register so will be mapped to the memory. Based on this address, it is going to fetch the instruction. So fetching the instruction is nothing but the read operation. Okay. Similarly, sometimes we may want to store the information also. For example, we have added 2 values. By performing the add operation, and that result is available in AC. accumulator register. Now I want to pass this result, store this result into main memory. I want to store this result into the main memory. Then what I am going to do, I will pass this data through the common bus, and by initiating the write operation, I am going to store the content inside of the main memory. I am going to store the content inside of the main memory. Okay. So like this, we are going to perform the read operation and write operation. So these read and write operations are very important, because using this read and write operations only, we are going to perform the data transfers between the main memory as well as processor registers. And for each and every register, we are going to see three different operations: LD, INR, CLR. So here LD means load. INR means increment. CLR means clear. So LD means load. Load means, so it is going to load the content. INR means it is going to increment the existing content. CLR means it is going to clear the content. Okay. So these three are very important operations. So these three operations can be performed in any of with any of the registers. Okay. So either load operation, or increment operation, or CLR operation, clear operation. Okay. So as we have previously discussed, what is the purpose of the PC? The purpose of the PC is it is going to represent the address of the next instruction. So based on the address of the next instruction, we are going to fetch the next instruction. So that is why here, if you want to fetch the instruction from the main memory, so this address of the next instruction will be passed to the common bus. From the common bus, it is going to go through like this, and it is going to fetch the instruction from the memory unit by initiating a read operation. Okay. So similarly, that is the purpose of the PC. So similarly, already we discussed about DR, and similarly the AC is very important. AC means accumulator register. Accumulator register is very important. So why accumulator register is very important means, so inside of the instruction format, as we have seen, inside of the instruction format, there will be I bit, there will be opcode, there will be address, let it be direct address or indirect address. So based on this address, we are going to fetch the data. However, we are going to fetch only one operand. What about the second operand? So to perform some of the arithmetic operations, we need two operands. So whenever we need two operands, one operand will be fetched by using this particular address. So the second operand will be stored in accumulator register, already in accumulator register. So we are going to perform the arithmetic operation by considering one operand from the address available in the instruction register, another operand from AC, and perform the arithmetic operation. So here you can see the connection. Okay, from AC, so we are going to pass the value to the arithmetic logic unit, and then we are going to perform the after performing the arithmetic operation, we are going to store the result once again in accumulator register. Okay, and here you may observe the connection. From DR also. That is, one operand is fetched from DR to the arithmetic logic unit. Another operand will be stored in accumulator register, and this is fetched from the accumulator register. Using these two operands, we are going to perform the arithmetic operation. After performing the arithmetic operation, whatever the result that has come, that result will be stored in where? Accumulator register. So from the accumulator register, if you want, you can store the content by passing through this common bus. We can store the result in memory by initiating the write operation. So like that, we are going to perform the operations. Okay. So in this way, the accumulator history is very, very important. Okay. So and you can observe some e value also. What is this e value means? We already know that after performing the arithmetic operation, sometimes we may get the output carry bit. So this carry is actually stored in this extension bit. E represents extension bit. Okay. So this extension bit actually stores the carry bit. Okay. So that is the purpose of this E bit. And similarly, another important registers are INPR. So what is the purpose of INPR? We discussed whenever we type something on the keyboard, whenever we are going to type something on the keyboard, so then it should be stored temporarily somewhere. So where it is going to store, you can observe here. So it is actually storing through the ALU, it is storing in accumulator register. But you may have a doubt. What is the doubt? Accumulator register is actually the size of the accumulator register is 16 bits, isn't it? 16 bits. But what is the size of INPR? 8 bits. So no problem. So how it is going to store is, so it is going to store from 0 to 7 bits, from 8 to 15 bits. So the remaining register will be filled with all zeros. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remaining 8 bits will be filled with all zeros. So like this, the INPR will be stored in accumulator register. So however, you can see that you can see the same type of register out R. Okay, out R. So this out R is actually there is no output from the out R. And there is no input to the INPR. There is no output from the out R. So what does it mean? It means that so INPR is going to represent the input from the keyboard. Okay. So though no input is actually needed for the keyboard, so we have to give the input. Similarly, the output is sent to the monitor. So no output is actually generated beyond monitor. So that is why there is no output signal from the outPR. Okay. So similarly, you can observe that there are no INR and CLR operations for INPR. So there is no INR and CLR operations for INPR, as well as IR instruction register, as well as OUTR. Okay, because they are not required for these operations to perform these operations. So those are not required for these operations. That is why they are not actually needed. That is why we are not representing them. Okay. So that is about those registers. And so another important register is IR instruction register. So instruction register is actually loaded from the common bus. Instruction register is fetched from AR If it is instruction, then it is stored like this into the instruction register. Okay. So similarly, temporary register is like accumulate register. To store temporary data, we are going to use the temporary register. Okay. So like this, we are going to perform the operations using registers. Different types of operations using registers. Okay. So and the most important register among all these registers, you can observe in the diagram is arithmetic logic, which is used in arithmetic logic unit is accumulator register. Accumulator register is the most important register. So because it is used in arithmetic logic unit to perform the arithmetic operations as well as the logic operations. So in addition to all these connections, we should note that all of these operations should be performed based on the clock pulses. Okay. So using a single clock pulse, so we are going to perform these operations. We are going to perform multiple operations also. Okay. So using a single clock pulse, we can move PC to AR, and we can perform read operation using a single clock pulse. So like that, we are going to perform different operations. So using this particular common bus system. So even though here we are showing typical registers, so these registers are actually based on the old computer system, because here you can observe. So how much is the memory? How much is the memory? Only 4096. Only 4096 into 16. This is the memory size. Okay. So into 16 means 4096 into 2 into 8. 8 bits. 8 bits means 1 byte. So 2 into 4096 bytes. And if you bifurcate 1024, 2 into 4 into 1024 bytes. So that is 8 KB. So how much memory it is? It is only 8 KB memory. So this one is only 8 kilobytes of memory, very, very small memory. So that is why it is going to represent the old computer, and these registers also is going to represent the registers of the old computer. However, so the latest computers will have plenty of additional registers. However, the functionality will be similar. Okay, the functionality will be similar to these registers. That is why we need not bother about the structure of the latest computers. So the basic functionality will be same as which is shown in this particular common bus system. Okay. The same diagram can be represented in this fashion also. Okay, some of the different authors will have different types of diagrams in their prescribed books. So this is also same as the previous diagram, but the connections are given in a different way. You can see here the memory, the AR register, address register, program counter, DR data register, AC accumulator register, ALU, INPR, instruction register, temporary register, outer. The same logic, however, in a different way. Either you can draw the previous diagram, or you can draw this diagram also. Okay. So the functionality is same. However, the diagrams are represented in different way. Okay. So if you observe here, the operation 1. So when the operation 1 is represented, whenever S2, S1, S0 or 001. So then operation 1 means load AR, load AR, load the address register, load the address register. Like that, the remaining operations can also be defined. So here you can see for 000 no operation is performed. For 001 we are going to load the address register. For 010 load PC. For 011 load DR. For 100 load accumulate register. For 101 load IR. For 110 load temporary register. For 111 perform memory operation. So that is perform memory operation means either read operation or write operation, either read operation or write operation. So one point we missed, what is that is the AR address register as well as PC need only 12 bits, only 12 bits. However, the main memory, however, the main memory or common bus, the common bus, the common bus is of 16 bits size, 16 bits size. But the AR and PC requires only 12 bits. So then what about the 4 remaining bits? 4 remaining bits will be filled with zeros. Okay, and from 0 to 11, the from least significant bit to 11th bit, the address will be stored, and the remaining bits in the bus will be filled with all zeros, all zeros. So that point is here it is mentioned. The 12-bit registers AR and PC have zeros loaded onto the bus in the high order 4 bit. These high order 4 bits will be loaded with all zeros. Okay. Similarly, we have already discussed that for out R as well as INPR. So because they are 8-bit registers, the low order 8 bits on the bus, the high order 8 bits will be filled with 8 zeros, and the low order from 0 to 7, the actual content of out R will be stored. So like this, the functionality of registers we can have in a computer system. Hope you understand the logic. That's all for today's class. We'll continue in the next class.